No listening. If you're under 18, this is not for children, okay? I'm tired of not being able to walk past preschools. Hashtag sex offender by accident. Don't poop in a sandbox. No listening. If you're under 18, thank you.
Niños, escuchen estas palabras mientras que salen de mis labios agrietos. El siguiente programa, aunque esto sea muy divertido para toda la gente, no es para los niños. Como un burro que busca agua fría, un balde, y eso le va a dar toda la satisfacción que necesita, esta agua no es para ustedes. Por favor, vayan donde sus padres. Ayúdelos a limpiar los baños. No vayan a escuchar esto. Es muy importante. Que Dios nos bendiga a los Estados Unidos. Gracias.
Brian McCarthy interview show. Adam is now drinking his Coke. Disco. Listen to that beat. Breaking it down in Uptown. Take your hand and touch it. Touch it. Now rub it. Brian McCarthy interview show. Listen to that beat. Touch it. Now rub it. I wish I could still drink.
Here we are. Happy days are here again. My name is Brian McCarthy. Sitting stage right is Adam Hineker, and it is we would love to welcome you, to take this opportunity to welcome you to the Brian McCarthy interview show. If you're listening, it's a podcast. Big fucking deal. There's two on every corner. And if you're watching, you're either watching on YouTube or Facebook. And of course, we would take this time right now to say, click on that little thumbs up hand thing. Now that I ask people to do it, I will watch a video for 1 second and I just always click the up button.
Yeah, it's just like an automatic.
I'm just like,
you're like supportive of your fellow content creators, right?
As a fellow influencer, I like to really get out there and I go, that was a nice vegan recipe for baked beans. You don't need pork to make them taste good. Thumbs up. So welcome to the show, everybody. And again, you can, if you're watching live, which is certainly an option, you can chat with us, and we're just kind of doing that. There's no guest today, which is good. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and that's what it is today. We had a lot of fun with Vic Legina on the show recently, and he was a good time. And then it was nice of him to, he said how much he loves us, which is nice to hear, because it's
a real love fest.
It felt
a little gay almost.
It goes one way.
How much we liked his book.
It's a boomerang of gayness. It goes flips around and comes right back to me. But and again, I cannot recommend his book enough. It's called Filthy: The Rise and Eventual Fall of Vic Legina. It's available as an audiobook, and it's available as a just a book. Is that what they call it? Just a book.
I think book is that's what they say at Penguin.
Yes, a writing book. A book with a paper book. And then actually
the written word.
My very good friend Laura Buchwald, she is her book
from the Buchwald Agency.
From the Don Buchwald Agency.
Okay.
That's right. The Buchwalds of Schenectady. So she just wrote a book called The Coat Check Girl, which she's been working on forever, and that is now out. I went to I had a very literary, I guess it was already a week and a half ago. I went to a book reading at her building, and then I feel like I may have even mentioned this. So anyway,
sounds familiar.
Laura Buchwald book. Listen, folks, the holidays are coming up. Whether you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or even
Kwanzaa.
Have you ever been to a Kwanzaa party?
No.
I have been to one Kwanzaa party.
That's right. You did tell me. Was Desmond involved?
No.
Or is that am I racist now?
That was a party and play. It was the gayest Easter party ever.
Okay.
I played Jesus, and I was crucified with dicks.
Right. You were swaddled with dicks.
I was. Lamb of God, you take away the sins of
the world.
Oh, so much apostle come.
Fill me up.
I'm filled with
Fill me up.
Oh,
Daddy.
Judas, when you're finished, I'm going to get in trouble. Oh, no, here come the Romans to take me away. Ooh, God, nice sandals, boys. But my neighbor back in Brooklyn, he's black and his girlfriend Carol was white. And they invited us to a party.
He had himself a snow bunny.
He was an interesting guy.
He had himself one of them white girls.
He was a funny guy because we're still. I haven't talked to the guy in a while, but we're still very friendly.
Still get a Kwanzaa card from him.
Well, what was funny was we got invited, and we're like literally we lived in a building, and then they lived the building exactly right next door. So I would see him all the time, and he was like, "Hey, Brian, and he was a really good cook." And he was like, "We're having a party, and it's on like December 29th or something." It was like a weird in between. It was like post Christmas, but pre New Year's party. And he goes, "We're having people over, blah, blah, blah." So we were like, okay. So Carol is sober. So we brought something that was not sparkling, but non-alcoholic. And we brought some champagne, and we walked the 8 feet from our apartment to their front door.
Carol, that's his wife.
Well, in a manner,
or whatever, his lady. Okay, that's a good. I have an aunt Carol. That's a great like white lady name.
Literally his old lady. I mean, literally, because they're both in their 70s. I'm guessing.
Carol.
He was always annoyed with her.
Carol.
He'd be like, Carol.
That's like a great we've been married forever name.
Yeah.
Can you get the door? I got a package coming.
He was
Carol.
Like where I lived in Brooklyn, for those of you, it was Park Slope, which is kind of like a bougie neighborhood, but he was like the last of the Mohicans. Like he would like
the last black man.
He'd always say that. He'd be like, "Man, goddamn white people." And I'd be like, this neighborhood.
Wait, so he was one of the original black people, or he was a fancy black person that moved in?
Good. That's a very good question. And that is an informed question. No, he was from like either Rochester or Buffalo or something, but he'd been in New York for like, I don't know, 50 years.
Sure.
And, but he would always say like, "Man, these fucking white people," and I hate it. And I'm like, this neighborhood's been like gentrified and white for like 30 years.
Let me ask it. Wait, what was his name?
His name, and I can't.
Reginald?
No. I think it was called Jocelyn, but
okay.
No,
it doesn't matter.
Jeffrey.
Okay, Jeffrey. Oh my God, he's the butler from Fresh Prince.
He really is.
Jeffrey. What did Jeffrey do for a living?
Oh,
do you know?
No, he was okay. Jeffrey was working on. He wrote a like a 10-speed, and his whole thing was he had invented a glove that had a mirror on the back of the glove, so that when you were on your bicycle, you could lift your hand up and use the mirror on your glove
as a check your blind spot.
Yes,
kinda.
Exactly right. Which is actually not a terrible idea.
Great idea.
Yeah, and he had been like cooking this thing up.
So
and
he was an inventor.
Well, he'd always be like, "Brian," he's like, "Do you have a 3D printer?" I'm like, "No, I don't have a 3D printer." Like, shit like that.
Right.
I remember, and then, but he had like a 25-year-old, like really, I mean, he's a really well maintained Lexus. And I remember like he called me once, and he was like, "Brian," because we were very, very friendly, and I guess he liked me because I wasn't like I didn't work for like NPR or something or
right.
Right. And but he was like, he called me once, and he was like, "Man," he's like, "Brian, are you and this is probably fucking 8 years ago," and I go, he goes, "You home?" I go, "Yeah," and he goes, "You got to come give me a jump." I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, my battery's dead."
Oh no.
I was like, "Oh no, really?" So
did he have jumper cables?
Oh,
or was he expecting you to?
He was like, well, that's a very good. You're full of good questions.
Listen, it's the Brian McCarthy interview show, but people don't know it's because I interview Brian McCarthy.
I'm like, this guy's got his homework.
I'm just wondering what the expectation is here, and I still have not made a determination if he's a fancy black guy or a original Brooklyn black guy.
He's a weird hybrid.
Yeah, the well-maintained early model Lexus,
yes.
Being an inventor.
Yeah.
Like this is very I can't get a fucking read on this guy.
No, very real character. Like, for example, I as usual, everybody, I'm jumping all over the place, but like I remember I got a leather jacket, and he looked at my leather jacket, and he goes, "Yeah, it's pretty nice." He goes, "But you have a seam up the back." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's not a whole piece of leather in the back. That's a seam." So
oh, wow.
it's so he would like made fun of me because I was like a fucking $2,000 like Belstaff leather jacket.
Wow, this is a man after your heart.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
He like fucking out McCarthy, dude.
You'd see him like, in the back. I'd see him he'd like walk down the street, and he'd have on like an ascot or something,
Holy shit.
Yeah. Just
wow, this guy is I do not have a determination.
He's coming and going, but he never had a job. Carol, his girlfriend, had bought her apartment like 40 years ago when it was probably $100. And so they just kind of live their life.
Okay, so he lived with Carol. Did Carol have steady employment?
Carol was a teacher, and then she retired, so she had a pension.
Okay, so she's like a tenured with a gotcha.
Something along. Yeah, they were like fine financially. I mean, they were fine, and they would always. But he calls me this one time, and he goes, "Maya, you got to come give me a jump," and I was like, "Okay."
You were like,
"Fine."
I'm gonna need you to explain
I'm like,
what that is first.
Like, I have 2 black friends, and one is Desmond, so I gotta really, I gotta maintain.
He almost never needs a jump.
No, if he does need to jump, it's a very different kind of jump.
That guy,
nothing to do with jumper cables.
He's a regular at Pet Boys.
Yeah, exactly right. Knock 3 times on the handicap stall. Right. Can I get my oil changed?
Yeah, both feet in the Bloomingdale's bag.
Yeah, exactly. Excuse me, I got cum all over my air filter that I bought here because I came on it. Anyway, so he calls me and he goes, "Can you gotta come give me a jump?" And I said, "All right, fine. Where are you?" Because I'm across the street from Rite Aid. Now there's a Rite Aid down on 9th Street.
Okay.
Not too far from where I live on 11th Street. I mean, who cares? But so I go, "All right, you're down there." So I go, okay. At the time, I had my car. I kept my car in a garage around the corner from where we lived.
Yeah.
No parking in the street for me.
But and hopefully I'm not jumping ahead. You have a car, but you don't have vision really at this point.
Vision, fine.
Oh, okay. This was back when you could drive. Because I was going to say
no.
The kind of the big issue here is
that'd be so funny. I'll be right there. Yeah, that's help. That's like how much white guilt can you have? I'm like, don't worry, I'll be there. Sorry about everything. Here I come. Just do me a favor. Would you mind taking one of your shoes off and hitting it against the street so I can hear the sonic vibrations? I'll be there in either 5 minutes or never. No, I could still drive.
Gotcha.
This was
all right. I thought this was more.
Oh no, this was just at the tail end of my driving
seeing career.
Right, exactly.
Driving career.
Oh, like it or not, I'm getting back on the road.
I think you should. I don't think you should let this whole thing. This genetic mutation slow you down.
Adam, cars these days they drive themselves. You don't even need to see.
I mean, actually,
pretty much.
You probably get. Are you even going to need like an actual license when you get into self-driving territory?
With this new administration, you don't need. We're not going to have fluoride in our water. You think we need driver's licenses? Mm-hmm. Hey, nice try, libtard.
Thank you.
God, it's we're gonna get. Hope you like polar bears because there's not going to be very many of them in another 6 months or so.
Yeah, only in Coca-Cola commercials.
Right,
going forward.
And by the way, Merry Christmas, folks. No more Happy Holidays, okay?
Right.
Merry Christmas. We're taking it back. Where did Christmas never went anywhere? It's so stupid.
No.
Anyway, so he calls me and he goes, you got to come. I'm in front of the Rite Aid. So I go, okay. So I get the car. I drive down there. Not only is he in, okay, so this 9th Street is one of the streets that goes like both ways, right? So it's a big kind of a 2-lane, one goes down, one goes up. And not only is he in the middle of the street, but he's put up orange cones.
Shit.
And he's blocking.
Which I'm assuming he has in his car.
Oh, God, yeah. He has like rock salt. He has one of those little hammers in case you drive. Remember, like, those cars, like if you drive into a lake and you have to have like a hammer in your car to break the window.
Slope survivalist.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I'm a doomsday prepper.
Canned goods.
Yeah, exactly.
Trunk full of canned goods.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian, Brian, help me get my powdered eggs out of the back of my Lexus from 1988. So I drive down to 9th Street and I can just see him from fucking a block away because traffic is blocked. People are like honking. He's just giving people the finger. He's got his hood up. He's got these fucking these cones out. And of course, here I come in my Audi SUV, like pulling up here, like as if like it was like a foster child, my 75-year-old foster child that I had to rescue from. I'm like the opposite of. I'm like Mr. Benjamin Button's Mr. Drummond here.
Is Jeffrey that old? Is he in his 70s?
Yeah, but he looks fantastic.
Okay, yeah, it don't crack.
Plus, here's another weird thing: black guy loves to swim.
Interesting.
All over the map. Matter of fact, we should almost call him and see if he remembers when I had to give him a jump.
I think my girlfriend loves to swim.
Yeah.
So there are, they exist.
She's got to do 23andMe. Sounds like she's 12% dolphin. So anyway, so I pull up and he goes, and he had never seen my car before, and he starts giving me, because he'd always be like, well, rich white boy, and he starts giving me shit about my car, and I'm like,
wow.
I mean, in a very sort of like a funny, I think he was happy
Very
that I was able to help him.
Reparational
Yeah, exactly.
jump.
Right. Yeah. Listen, I'm here to give you 40 acres and a jump. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
reparational AAA.
yeah, let's do this after we get. He's like lighting flares, he's created a perimeter,
Right.
So I'm like, fuck. So I pull up, and now I've got to like tee up to where his car is. So I'm pulled up there. I pop the hood, and people, like, we've blocked traffic, and we're in the middle of a very busy street in Brooklyn, and we're just blocking everything. People are like backing up and pulling around, and because he's black and there's cones up, people don't know how official this is. If this is like a crime scene.
He's black and there are cones.
Yeah, he's black and there are cones. Yeah, that could be any one of.
Does kind of muddle the situation.
Nobody knows how angry to be. There's like a white guy in like Madras shorts in an Audi SUV, kind of, who I didn't even know how to he gave me shit about this. I didn't know how to pop the hood on my car.
Right.
He was like, pop the hood. I was like, I don't know how to pop the hood.
I don't know.
And then I'm reaching over to get the manual out. He's like, motherfucker. And he just comes over and he just kind of presses it.
He called you a jive turkey.
Yeah, shit. Honky. Shit. Honky can't open his own damn car. Right. You're like, yeah, I'm here. Oh. What am I? One of the ones you keep it.
He starts doing Paul Mooney material.
Am I one of the ones you keep in the house? Shit. My name not Django Reinhardt.
Oh my god.
Shit. Django Unchained.
This is like a buddy film.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. You and Jeffrey.
So we end up like, I pull up, he's there. We get the hood open, and then he's like, he's like, where's your battery? And because I guess,
oh boy.
Well, the way this engine was, it was all covered. Like, it wasn't all this shit.
Yeah,
wasn't
the new. I mean, and this was how many? What, 10 years ago?
Not even, maybe 8 years ago. And
yeah, the newer the car, the more just going on. It feels like,
and also like
plastic.
Yeah. There was like it was like a sort of a lid on top of all of the. Forgive my technical jargon.
And everything's very sleek too, so it's just like you don't know what.
Yeah.
What anything is.
Okay. For example, the way we finally figured out how to actually jump this fucking thing was how like typically in an old car you'd have like, you see the bat. Look, even I don't know shit about cars, but I know how to where a fucking battery looks like.
Yeah.
But even this car, we couldn't find the battery, so we had to get the manual out. We're like reading the manual in the middle of 9th Street. There's like traffic bar. There's like fire engines. There's people are dying in ambulances. School buses are late now. The whole city is like, we're at DEFCON 4. They've called the Air Force. They're doing flyovers.
Yeah, National Guard.
Yeah, so he's got the manual out, and we figure out that the way to jump the car was to put one of the clamps like on like, it was like a special dedicated, was nowhere near the actual battery. It was like a special area over here. And there's
a point. There's like a contact point.
Yeah, and there was another contact point that was like on the other side of the hood, and his bumper cables didn't go far enough.
Oh wow!
So we had to rip them in the middle so that they opened more.
You can pull that.
He's like, I gotta rip my. I'm like, I'll buy you new fucking jumper cables. We're gonna Pet Shop Boys right down the block. So I'm like,
Boys?
Pet Shop Boys. That's right. West End Girls. Hello. How funny would that be if the Pet Shop Boys had a auto body?
That would be great. I think it would look a little something like this.
Your car's been damaged. Were you hit by a lorry? Because the boot of your Citroen, I drive a Citroen.
They would have to say petrol.
Yeah, the petrol.
Petrol.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Are they right? They're like, we can't work on your auto because the steering wheel is on the wrong side of the car.
There'd be a lot of that kind of humor. A lot of backwards car humor.
Did you go to the chemist in this vehicle of yours? They're like, all of a sudden, they're just a guy walks behind you in the Pet Shop Boys auto body store. It's just a centaur with like a big dick hanging out with the spinning lit hat on.
Yeah,
that's Paul. He fixes all the autos in the back. He's a centaur. When you're young, you find inspiration in anyone. So anyway, so we finally find, and we get the fucking jump. And the whole time he's like, "Bah, bah, 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 bah." So anyway, get the jump, and that was it. So Jeffrey and I are pretty friendly. So then here it is now. It's like the 28th of December, and we go to the party, and there's like all these people because his wife or girlfriend, she 12 steps, so she goes to meetings. So there's like a lot of people there that I'm presuming they're all, I don't know, they're all over there, they're all sharing. Be funny, like AA people, they're all sitting on folding chairs in a circle. You're like, oh, that's the AA people over there. They're like, hi, it's been
They're all like, yeah, they're
yeah.
actually having kind of an impromptu meeting.
It's been 1 year since my last Kwanzaa party. Thank you. Hey, welcome. No, so we're there, and then like I don't know, about halfway into like the party, and like I said, Jeffrey, really good, like, and very like he made like smothered pork chops and shit. Like
for sure,
it was good.
Sure.
Black-eyed peas and Newports.
Okay, yeah,
but
side of Newports.
Yeah, side of Newports.
Do that.
Yeah, just
with pork. Actually pork right in there.
Yeah, everything was served in a Courvoisier glass, like a brandy glass with ice in it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so at one point he just gives a speech, and he goes like, "All right, everybody, we're here," because everyone knew it was a Kwanzaa party except me and my wife, and he's like, "All right," and he pulls out like a candle.
Oh, so he invited you, but he didn't really tell you it was. Were people dressed like
Kunta Kente?
Yeah.
Yes. People wearing in dashikis and kente cloth.
And was
No.
Carol wearing? Oh, okay.
No,
Because I was hoping that Carol would be.
I feel like a lot of
decked
people.
out
Yeah. How funny that'd be.
in the garb.
Yeah. She's like cornrows in. She's like, Jeffrey made me get these on 130th Street. No, there were other people at the party that didn't know it was a Kwanzaa party.
Gotcha.
I feel like most of the white people, we didn't really know because there was some like,
there was like an ambush Kwanzaa party.
It was like it was like an informational Kwanzaa. It was like it had the feeling of like a timeshare presentation. Like this is Kwanzaa, like an episode, like a very special episode of Sesame Street where they celebrate other holidays other than Christmas.
Yeah,
they're like Elmo, like Kwanzaa.
Yeah, Jeffrey had kind of a PowerPoint.
Yeah, each Kwanzaa candle represent different parts of Africa. Like Ethiopia. Okay, sorry, I'll never do that again. Ted's like, please do an English accent again. That's better than your Elmo.
Better than Kwanzaa Elmo.
Yeah, it's Kwanzaa Elmo.
Right, inclusive Elmo.
Who ate all this sweet potatoes? So he pulls out a candle, and Jeffrey goes like, "Hey, everybody, welcome." And he goes, and he gives like this monologue about. He's like, Kwanzaa is a celebration of lights, and it's an African this, and he pulls a candle out and he lights. By the way, why does every religion have candles? Like, what is with candles? Like,
I don't know. That seems to be the through line.
It really is. Like, it's one of those things where does it make it more? Are you closer to God if it's wax?
I think so. I think the more
flame.
Yeah, I think that's how it seems like there's always symbolism that have to do with not so much in Christmas, but or is there? I don't know.
Well, we make a birthday cake for Jesus.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, God, right.
We have 2,024 candles to blow out this year.
Jesus
blow down the whole neighborhood's going to burn up.
Better get started.
Oh boy, better call that Rite Aid and see if I can get a jump.
But Jeffrey's car, you got it jumped just because we didn't.
Yeah,
okay, everything was good. You found the contact points,
and the whole time I'm having like a minor panic attack.
Yeah,
and Jeffrey's like, "Fuck all these motherfuckers."
Yeah, you're literally. He's like blocking traffic.
He's deliberately slowing down. I think I've actually never seen him happier than when we blocked all of the traffic on 9th Street.
Yeah, it's a big fuck you to
Whitey,
current residents of it. Yeah, that's actually a lot of people don't know that. That's why they call them honkies,
because they were honking a lot.
Yeah, a black guy would block traffic, but it was with stagecoaches.
I will say this:
back in the day,
you know the original name for a horn on a car?
No,
a klaxon. Klaxon. Yeah, don't look that up. Don't look that up. No, it is really klaxon. Sound the klaxon.
That's a fun fact.
Well, one thing I remember, and this is funny too, because people were definitely honking, but nobody was honking that could see what was going on. Because again, it looked vaguely, I don't know, like there was it looked like there could have been something going on,
some kind of investigation.
Yeah, like remember Ghostbusters 2 when they had to jack into the ground to get to that goop. Where all the anger of the city was, and the police came up and they were like, "Yeah, we're here from the Con Ed department." Right. It turns out they actually weren't.
I mean, I'm surprised Jeffrey doesn't have some sort of like auxiliary police badge or something. Like he sounds like the kind of guy that would
Yeah.
would have some sort of
Yeah.
enough affiliation to sort of
He
scam his
yeah.
way into.
He definitely, yeah. A lot of times he would wear like jumpsuits that looked vaguely like, like sort of like you work for the
coverall
city.
type-
Yeah,
yeah,
coverall.
sure.
That's what they are. Yeah,
Coveralls.
coverall, but like an old timey, like a wax cotton coverall, like with a like a nice sharp collar. Very sartorial dresser. I mean, very good dresser. And he's always trying to. Oh, I have another quick Jeffrey story, which I will tell you,
Please,
which
yes.
you'll get a kick out of. So, anyway, so we get to at this party, he starts talking about Kwanzaa and he lights a candle and another candle. And I went to Jocelyn and I was like, "Is this a Kwanzaa party? Am I celebrating Kwanzaa right
It's
now?"
like a sitcom.
Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, I think we are." So, yeah, I went, "Make a lick a high, make a honey ho." No, I didn't.
I bet you did have fun with it because you were still drinking at this point.
Yes.
Or maybe
no,
yeah.
I was still drinking, but I was trying to. I was at the point
trying
where
to taper it down.
I was fighting a losing battle against about not drinking, but
Right.
I was yeah. Although, but no, actually, by the time this Kwanzaa party came around, this Kwanzaa party was only about 5 years ago.
Okay.
So I was sober, newly sober, or at least sober would. I mean, I've done some mushrooms since then, so I don't know if you would call it sober, but I wasn't drinking, so I was not drinking at this party. It was new, but I was okay. I was like, yeah, this one I was not. Yeah, no, I was shit faced. I'm like, what kind of fucking jigaboo nonsense is?
Yes, I could see you. I could see Brian in his drinking days having a great time.
Yeah, thinking because in my drinking mind, I'd be like, it'd be funny if I was racist. That would be funny.
100%.
People would get a kick out of that.
A huge kick.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd probably be like the life of the party. Almost.
Hey, what do you look at you two? What do we have for dessert? Black and white cookies or something?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's
write that down.
That's good stuff.
Black and white cookies is something.
So
this is like the laziest
Yeah,
interracial humor you could think
just
of.
like just drunk.
Hey,
and-
look what we got here.
Yeah.
Have any of that for it.
Yeah, which one are you, Joe?
That's what I am.
Joe. Hey, Jeffrey, what are you, Joe Pisca? No job.
That's good.
Thank you. Anyway, so all right, so I will tell you one more Jeffrey story because I do think it's funny. So when we first moved into our apartment in Brooklyn, we were downstairs. The apartment had 2 floors, as you remember, and actually, I don't know if you remember or not, but downstairs, I remember Jeffrey came over and he was looking around, and he was into like home design, and he was like, "What do you want to do down here?" Because I needed some. The downstairs was like a dining room with the big kitchen, and there was a dining room there. You couldn't put much more there than like a small table on one side and like a dining table, right? And that's kind of what we ended up having. But
You didn't have this table in there?
we did.
Okay. that's what I thought.
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
We had a first one, and then we had the big flood, and we had got another one. But then, if you remember, on the side we had another table. So Jeffrey says to me, he goes, "What would you want to have over in that corner?" And I said, "Honestly, I know this sounds crazy, but a sectional church pew would be great. For example, just a little church pew that's like an L." And because it will fit right in that corner there, and you could stick it there, and we had a table that would fit perfectly, and it would be like a little sort of a side table, but and he was like, "Sectional." I said, "I know, I don't even know that exists. I'm gonna like look into it."
L-shaped church pew.
Yes. So a couple of days later, he calls me and he goes, "You're not going to believe this." I said, "What?" He goes, "I found a sectional church pew." I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, because Jeffrey would always go to the Salvation Army over in like fucking, I don't know, like East New York or Bushwick or some like way kind of far out, like way out deep Brooklyn. And he would always tell me like the place was great because they got all kind of great shit and nobody ever knew what it was. Like Jeffrey was always, I don't know, he always had like a lamp. He was like rewiring or something. So
this is a man after my heart.
Yeah, now see now who's having
there's a lot of great they're not like Goodwill, Salvation Army, they're more like bougie, but like reused, like repurposed stores. Like there's a thing called Big Reuse and they have a place, I believe it's Park Slope or around there.
Yeah. For example, when we did our kitchen, for about 2 weeks, I wanted to do the kitchen countertops in they have bowling alley flooring.
Ooh, yeah.
Which I thought would be pretty cool. But then I thought it was a little too like Big Lebowski. I would get sick of it. Like a little too hipstery, you know.
Lava lamp.
Yeah, so, like I have
kitschy.
Like I have one of those dumb Christmas Story leg lamps in the corner, and people are like,
Frigile.
Yeah, it must be from Italy. So anyway,
a little
so
too kitschy.
so he goes, I'm over at this place. He goes, I'm over there now. And he goes, why don't you, he goes, but you should come over now because, things go really quickly, whatever it is. So I was like, all right, fuck it. So I got in my car, I drive over another time with Jack. So I drive over to it's like 4 miles, it takes an hour to get there. I drive there, I go in, and this is one of those Salvation Armies that were like the guys that work there, like live upstairs. It's a pretty
they're pretty on the fringe of.
Yeah, this is like,
this is a.
And it's like, I think whatever they're selling on the floor, it's kind of like, that's like, it's not going into a cash register. So, so this white guy comes up and he's dealing with Jeffrey and he shows me this fucking church pew is exactly, it's like 3 feet on the L part is about 3 feet and the longer part is about 6 feet. I mean, it's in beautiful shape. It's gorgeous. It's like, I think it's like walnut or something. I mean, perfect.
I love walnut.
Don't need it.
One of my top 5 woods.
Mine. Oh, well, I'll never tell. But mine's Dominican. I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, this is fucking perfect. So there's this old, white guy who's like, dope sick, scratch.
Yeah, he's on work release,
scratching his nipple, kind of like. Eh. So I say to the guy, of course, I have no poker face, I go, hey, this is great. This is exactly what I need. I said, all right,
sure.
I said, what do you want for this? And he goes, $35. And I was like,
whoa.
I go,
real? Oh, I thought you were going to say he was going to say 3,500.
No,
like
dude, it could have been if this was in
holy shit
Soho, it would have been $1,000.
Well, because a lot of those places, and weirdly, they have a bunch of the big reuse. The place I was talking about has a ton of bowling alley flooring. It was like they were lousy with that stuff the last time I was there. But that would be $2,000 minimum at one of those places. I mean, gentrified version.
$35. I'm not
holy shit.
Yeah. And then so I say to the guy,
talked him down a little. You talked him down right from that. Wish it, but you do a little better.
Yeah. Listen, how about $7?
Shit.
No, of course I'm like, I go, oh, that's great.
Wow.
And I pull out my credit card and I go, I'll take it. And he goes,
and he's like,
no. He goes, what am I going to sniff coke with that? No. He goes, we don't have he's like, we don't have a credit card.
This is cashola, baby.
Because we don't have a credit card machine or anything. This is cash. And I go, shit. And I go, I don't have $35. The guy goes, all right. He goes, I'll just put it aside for you. What's your name? And I go, Brian. And he goes to get a tag and he comes back with a tag. And Jeffrey says to the guy, he goes, what, you're not going to make a deposit and make him keep a deposit or something? Guy looks at me and he goes, nah, he's got an honest face. And I turn to Jeffrey and I said, Jeffrey, the white men are talking. This is how we do it, Jeffrey. Okay. This is how white men do it.
Well, that's what he was already thinking anyway.
Oh,
he was
100%.
like, these fucking,
we were like
Peckerwoods.
Yeah, we got very gentlemanly. Me and this dope six guy that was probably only 35, looked like he was 60.
Yeah.
So he goes, he goes, he looks like trustworthy. And I said, damn right I do. I said, all right, well, thank you. I said, I will be back maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. He goes, ads here for you. Get your name on it. Brian with an I.
That man would be played by Rick Shapiro in the TV movie. TV movie.
Hey, man. Man, I lost a tooth fell out, man.
It'd be Danny Glover and Rick Shapiro.
Right. No, this would be James Earl Jones's last role ever.
Yeah.
He was like, I was in Conan the Barbarian. Fuck this. I'm in a Lifetime movie with this Rick Shapiro. Hey, I'll suck your dick, Conan. Were you Darth Vader, man? Hey, man. So anyway, I basically go and I go to the guy. I said, all right, well, thank you. I go. And the whole way back, because Jeffrey had ridden his bike over there. So now I got to put Jeffrey's bike in my car. We throw it in the back of my car and we're driving the whole way back. He's like, I can't believe that motherfucker. He's like, every time I go in there, I got to buy a lamp. I got to leave like $1. He's like, you don't even have to leave a $35. I said, Jeffrey, please. It's
white privilege.
It's happened already. We don't have much these days. I don't know if you noticed, but white men are under assault, Jeffrey.
Oh yeah. We're under attack.
We're an endangered species. Not anymore. Whee! And so anyway, so I thought it was very funny. So then I went back and I got the fucking thing and took back to the apartment. And then Jeffrey actually helped me because they took it apart at we brought his cordless drill because we took it apart at the Salvation Army and I took it back to the apartment. We put it back together and it fit beautifully. And then when we moved, when when we moved from Brooklyn back into the city, I actually sold it on Craigslist for like, I think $400.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like you may have asked me if I wanted it
I probably did.
because I think you were trying to actually unload it first.
Well, you're my friend. I was gonna.
Yeah.
I would give it.
Oh
to
no,
you.
you were gonna give it to me.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but I think at the time I was in like a studio apartment.
Right.
I'm very decisive with
Yeah.
my decorating,
Yeah.
so I don't just like
I was like, do you plan on
take
opening
sectional pews.
Yeah, you gonna open a church at all? How are
Yeah.
you? Do you feel like if you're about to invent a religion, I get a good way for you to get started. You
Mhm.
can fit 5 parishioners on this, 5 little parishioners. So anyway, so I had the thing, and then we sold it to some girl, and I sold it like I put it on Craigslist, and I sold the fucking thing like
Nice.
in like
You
a day.
flipped that puppy.
I flipped it, baby.
Nice.
So anyway, so there you go. So how are things with you? You okay?
Yeah.
Everything?
Yeah. No complaints.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Holidays are coming up. You know, I'm excited about. I don't know.
Are you? I know we talked about it off the air, but you said it's just going to be probably you and your girlfriend and maybe some friends or something. Will you even have a whole turkey, or will you get a?
Oh, I never do the like
a breast.
No, I would never do that.
No, you get like a whole turkey.
Oh
right?
yeah, for sure. At the very least, I would just do like I don't know, maybe I'll do like something weird, like a hen or something, like something not, I don't know.
Perhaps
kind of over turkey.
Perhaps a capon.
Well, I don't even know what that is.
It's a very fancy French bird. It's like it's like a fancy chicken.
Sure.
Ooh,
you gotta eat those
yeah, you gotta some kind of chicken with like
fancy chickens,
like a blue-footed capon or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like turkey. You know,
yeah. I always do. I mean, I never get. I mean, what's the smallest turkey you can get? 10 pound, 12 pound,
something like maybe 8.
I feel like I don't know if I've ever gotten an 8. That would be very small. But I think I'm always getting a pretty small turkey, anyways, because I'm never like entertaining more than 5-6 people.
Right.
So yeah, I probably would just do the same thing. But I did like real smokehouse style last year.
Okay. But even if you got like a 12-pound turkey with 6 people, by the time you like carve it and the bones and the fucking that weird bag of intestines and shit in the middle of it, you got to pull the giblet bag. You got to pull the giblet bag out. By the way,
I love it when people play with the ladies play with my giblet bag.
A couple years ago, I actually made the turkey, and I was pulled it out of the oven and let it rest for like an hour, and I opened it up and I forgot that I
forgot the bag was in there.
Yeah,
bag didn't melt, did it?
No. It was okay.
Right.
I was a little worried.
Resistant bag.
Everyone was eating it. I was kind of watching everybody like, "Am I everybody gonna die here?" Or something? Nah, everybody's fine.
No, this is where it all comes from in there. Anyways, it's just not in cellophane.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, the turkey I get, the giblet bag was in a thing. It was in waxed paper. So I get very fancy.
Waxed paper.
Very
interesting.
Fancy. Very fancy.
Oh yeah,
turkey.
that's very safe. I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and I didn't know what to do with it. Also, we used it for gravy. I think so.
Yeah, usually you toss everything in there. Maybe the neck if you want.
Yep, we had the neck
just to give the gravy a little extra.
Yeah. The
zhuzh.
Yeah, the sort of the asshole of the turkey. That's called the Parson's nose. We talked about that already.
You told me. I don't think we talked about it on the show, but you told me that because I was wondering what that was called.
Yes. The turkey asshole is very flavorful. The asshole of really any animal, the asshole is the most flavorful part of it to eat. That includes my ex-wife.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I'm usually, as you know, I'm a big spatchcock guy, so I think I'm.
I'll never tell.
I'm a bit of a. So I think I'm getting rid of that, right? Because that's right at the bottom of the.
Yes,
spine.
I believe you are.
Yeah, I think I'm getting rid of that.
That's a shame. You should
I know.
You should just request to keep it. You should go to your butcher and be like, "Can you spatchcock this?" But I want to keep the asshole.
Oh no, I do it myself. So I mean, I could throw that in, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I think you lose the oysters too. I think that's right in there, isn't it?
You want
the bottom.
Yeah.
Boy, that's the best.
Boy, the most delicious part of anything is the most disgusting sounding. I like turkey oysters.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, it's that like weird,
that like spongy. It's like dark meat.
Yeah, it's the softest meat on the the bird.
Yep.
This is the culinary cast.
Well, I have always wanted. I mean, I do a huge turkey because we have a lot of people, and so I can't do this. But I always thought it'd be fun if I had a small turkey. I would butterfly it, and lay it
Yeah.
flat on a baking sheet.
Yeah, that's basically, isn't that spatchcocking?
It is. It
right,
is. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You break the breastbone.
Yeah, but I mean, I would ask them to do it at the butcher shop. So
What you can do,
Go ahead.
and listen, this was a tip that I got, I don't know, probably picked up on YouTube or whatever, but people that do a lot of that type of stuff, the dry brining and the whatever, butterflying them and stuff, is they're like, do 2 small turkeys if you can. So you could do, I don't know if they could do that with these fancy ones that you get, but you could do like 2 12-pound turkeys instead of, how big of a one do you get for like the whole family?
As a matter of fact, I just got the receipt. I have like a 29-pound turkey.
Okay, yeah. So you would just get 2. They always, that's what they say for that kind of preparation. They go, just do the 2 small guys,
Right.
and then you can like go to town if you want.
As a matter of fact, one year I had a turkey that was so big that it didn't fit in the oven. So what I had to do is I took aluminum foil on the outside of the oven and I created like an aluminum foil, like
Wait, so you had to leave the door
a little bit
cracked open, and then you had to like tent the.
Yep, pretty much.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah. It was wild.
You're like, I just sealed off the kitchen.
And
it became a sauna.
Yeah, and what was funny about that is I remember my father-in-law coming in, because like a turkey that big takes fucking hours and hours to cook, and so especially if the oven is not closed, so you're constantly the temperature was constantly regulating and everything. And I remember, like, the way that I do turkeys, very simple. I just take a lot of butter and I put it under the skin.
Go under the skin
with a ton of salt and pepper. So I remember putting the turkey in the oven, and then essentially creating this fake seal.
Yeah.
And then I remember my father-in-law coming down and just looking at the oven and just seeing like smoke just billowing out of it.
A big turkey like that, what temperature are we at?
Well, here's the thing. The way that I learned how to do it is basically like 450.
Oh, so this is not a low and slow situation.
No, this is like 450 for like 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then after your 450 20-minute thing, you then drop it to like 300.
Oh, so do you do the skin first? Like, do you,
yes,
you do
yes,
that?
Yes.
Okay, because I've heard of a lot of people doing that afterwards, but you just do that first, and then you drop it down.
And as a matter of fact, once after the 450 and after the 20 minutes of it, I was able to like take it out and kind of shift it, and it kind of shrank a little bit. So I was able to barely able to close the oven. I was like, right. Shut it. Then I had to give Jeffrey another jump. But yeah, so that's what I did with the turkey. And yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's kind of like it's pretty idiot proof. I mean, whenever people talk about, I remember one year a friend of mine wanted to fry a turkey, so he bought this. You ever do that?
No, but I've seen people. I've seen like montages of the horror.
Yeah,
like people fucking. Yeah, it's a disaster.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, you can buy these like turkey frying. They're like fucking death traps. It's basically you buy like a giant pot.
Yeah, it's
with like
huge vat of oil, right?
But 20 gallons of oil in it.
Turkey.
And it's got like this Spanish Inquisition like cage that you put the turkey in, and you with like a chain on it,
right,
with a long telescoping pole, and you drop the fucking turkey in, and you have to stand like 8 feet away.
Don't you have to do it outdoors? It's like best if you do it outdoors.
Oh yeah. I did it with a friend of mine, with this guy I'm talking about, and we did it on his balcony downtown. And I was like, and it was a propane thing that we set up. I was like, I remember thinking to myself,
kill your downstairs neighbors.
I was like, I think this is how I think this is how Chicago burned down in 1898 or whatever. Like, I was like, this seems very, very dangerous. And then you put it in and you let the fucking thing just fry for like an hour. Right. And then you pull it out, and it's like, I don't know. It's not. I don't care for it. Like, I don't really.
I mean, I think probably the most practical way would be to break it. If you could break it down and just do like sections.
I think people like the aesthetic.
I think it's like a big dick kind of situation where they're like, I want to fucking. But it's like, okay, you might kill your whole family though.
Right.
So I don't know if it's worth it.
I mean, I remember when you put the oil, I remember thinking, remember Empire Strikes Back when Han Solo goes in the carbonite? I remember like putting the turkey in and having all the it was like, and also I remember we didn't know that you had to make sure the turkey was really, really dry. and our turkey was wet. So we put this wet turkey in all this oil, and the oil was spattering and fucking.
So you'd like dry brine it a few days.
You're
maybe-
supposed to
maybe
like
ahead of time.
Yeah, because you fry anything, it's supposed to be as dry as possible because
Yeah.
water and oil
For sure. Yeah, it's not great.
It's not that's not something that you're not supposed to. I mean, anybody you would think,
But
would
they
know
do
that.
drop frozen things into hot oil, right?
I think there's a difference between frozen and wet.
Okay.
I think
I think you're right.
yeah.
Because I think it could still be dry and be frozen.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, so we don't do we just fucking bake it like it's,
Yeah, anything. I mean, even making like I don't know if you take the time to like. The other day, I just got this bug to be like, I'm gonna make French fries at home, right?
Yeah.
And like, if you do it the right way, it fucking takes forever. You
It
gotta
does.
blanch the
Yep.
potatoes. You gotta and
Double fry sometimes.
yeah. Oh, I double fried.
Sure you do.
Triple fried.
Of course you do.
And
What are you, an asshole?
but you blanch them and then you gotta like cool them but yeah, the whole thing is you gotta make sure that they're very dry and very cold. So, and even just doing in your house, even just doing French fries is a little scary.
Yeah.
Because you have like 400-degree
oil. Yeah.
with
It's
like
flammable.
duck
Yeah.
fat in it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it doesn't seem I can't even imagine doing chicken, like a fried chicken pieces. Maybe. I mean,
You need a big
I don't know.
something. Yeah,
it's just a lot of oil.
It's a lot of oil, and it fucking gets everywhere, and it just splatters every. I mean, especially it is kind of funny because it's like making French fries. It's one of those things where like it's such a pain in the ass, and after you do it at home and you're finished, you're like, all right, these taste not as good as ones I could get from Hardee's. Like,
right. I will say mine were very good.
well, you're a very good cook.
But it was just because I was like, let me just like take the time because it was something I'd never done like the right way before.
Yeah. And also there is
frying.
There is like a Venn diagram of like so much work to do and the end product and the amount of time spent and the oil and the blanching and the double frying, and you got to pull out wire racks and when you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, get out like your wire kind of basket thing. And...
Yeah. No, I remember like one time I decided I was going to make these Vietnamese ribs that I saw in the New York Times, and I was going to make them, and I saw the recipe, and I was like, this will be fun. I'll make
like a
this
short rib or something.
Well, yeah, but they were little.
They
were spare ribs, but they were like lemongrass and something else. And you basically what it was, you made like a paste.
Yeah.
And I remember I was going to bring them out to my in-laws, and I had gone out the night before, and I had a late night. Right. And got up in the morning, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I should fucking get on these ribs.
Sure.
So I looked at the recipe. First thing I saw was Nam Plop, and I'm like, what the fuck is Nam Plop? It's fish sauce.
Oh, okay. I just have it as fish sauce.
Yeah, it's called Nam Plop.
I've made ribs just like this before.
Okay,
they're very good.
Very good. But then it was Nam Plop, and then I had to buy spare ribs. It turned into like this Homeric odyssey of just like ingredients, and I had to like make a paste with like I had to like buy lemongrass, and then I had to roast it, and then I had to like puree it and mix it with the fish sauce and do this and rub the ribs and blah, 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 and then bake them and then finish them on the grill. And after making all of them, they were very good, but I could have ordered these and had them delivered, and they would have been $18, and they would have been just as delicious. Like
from the Vietnamese place.
Just yeah. There's certain things where you're like, why? It's like when people are like, I'm gonna make ice cream. I'm like, all right,
dude, I got an ice cream maker for Christmas last year.
How'd it go?
And I think I've used it twice. I was like, all right, I'm gonna make frozen custard. There's this there's a restaurant in Astoria that's like, it's a Michelin rated Italian restaurant.
Yeah. What are you tired of going there?
Everything tastes like burnt rubber.
But
ahead. They have a gelato that is just like to die for. And I was like, ooh, maybe I could reproduce that. And I was like, no fucking way. I don't know what they do, but it's the most talk about mouthfeel.
I was just gonna say mouthfeel. That's
dude,
so funny.
it's like,
get over here.
It's out of this world.
I want to kiss you.
It's out of this
I'll show you some mouthfeel.
It's out of this fucking world. But I was like, don't I honestly, because I got an air fryer one year, and like this year, I got to tell my girlfriend like nothing that takes up room. Like
By the way, back up for 1 second.
Yeah.
Do you use your air fryer or not?
Oh
really?
yeah, I
you
do all the
Okay.
time. I
You
love
that.
I
Okay,
love
fair
that.
enough. Okay,
Sure.
sorry. Anyway, so go ahead.
But yeah, the fucking ice cream maker is just like, what the fuck? I got to come up with another use for it because I'm never gonna make ice cream.
Yeah. No, we got married 20 years ago, and somebody gave us an ice cream maker, and it's
Okay.
still in the
Oh
box.
shit!
And
Wow,
it's,
you didn't even take it out of the
no,
box.
it's like over there somewhere, and it's
oh boy.
it's like, yeah, because you have to like freeze the inside of it.
Yeah, it just for like a year, the thing sat in my freezer, and I was like, listen, I think I made ice cream once, maybe twice.
Yeah, and then again, even if it's like incredible, you know,
and it wasn't. It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah,
I was like, great. I spent an afternoon and I made very average ice cream.
Yeah, because here's the joke: you can actually buy like an ice cream machine where you just dump this shit in the back and it'll make it. But that is number one of those things is like is easy at least $1,000, and it's the size of like 4 coffee machines. I mean, what are you gonna put that in your house? What's your last name? Fucking Haagen-Dazs or something? You know, like, so you
Ben
can either
Jerry?
you can either have the little one like what you have or the one that I have, which is where you have to freeze the inside of the thing and then rock salt and fucking this and that, and then you have to make sure it stays frozen the whole time, and then after all of it, it makes a pint of ice cream. Or you can have something that costs, you know, $4,000, and you know you have to have a 220-volt plug-in in your wall, and it'll make like a quart of ice cream, and but it'll shake, and you
gotta
know,
unplug the dryer to plug this thing in. I gotta unplug my Tesla.
You got to call Jeffrey to come give you a jump. Yes. Jeffrey's like, Brian, I'm trying to make some hazelnut gelato up in this motherfucker.
Oh, dude, the hazelnut is the one. It's fucking amazing. They got a pistachio and a hazelnut that's to die for.
Trying to make some Kwanzaa gelato. I put candle wax in my Kwanzaa gelato.
It's all chocolate.
Hell no.
Hell no. Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, you know what?
You want to call it?
I was going to call Jeffrey. Fuck, we're not going to
maybe
call Jeffrey.
maybe give him a heads up, and maybe we'll try to call him.
It's never any fun to give anybody a heads up, but yes.
Okay, yeah. Let's read. There's a couple of funny, just like random comments that maybe we give some shout outs, and then we go behind the beaded curtain.
Yeah,
it's about that time.
Yeah.
Ovo says he really wants to know how Gallagher's was.
Oh, okay. I'll get there. I'll do that. I mean, and let's go through whatever else, and then I'll come back to Gallagher's, because we did talk about that before the show.
And then he said, I'm going to ask the stripper after she's finished sucking my finger and making me pre-cum in my pants if she's going to spatchcock or butterfly her turkey this year. And then Max has like a kind of a culinary question, because since we're sort of on the topic. He says, Brian, you seem like a lad who enjoys a good cappuccino or sultry cortado. Cortadito. Where, if anywhere, in NYC would be a good neighborhood in desperate need for scrumdiddly-umptious third-wave coffee shop? Think upscale cafe with amazing brekkie, Sammy's, but not snobby and uppity.
This guy is not
neighborhood. I think he might be. It's Max. Don't we know?
I don't know, but Sammy and brekkie, that sounds.
Well, I mean, I can tell you exactly where for that, but neighborhood vibe. Okay, te amo, ciao bella.
Well, if you're asking me what neighborhood in New York City I think could be well served by like a little, like a place that has like good coffee and all that kind of stuff that you just talked about.
Is he saying like he wants to open a place?
Sounds like that.
Yeah. Okay. Man, if you want to open a third wave place, I'll help you out.
By the way, what does third wave mean?
That's, it's a word of different schools of it. That's microfoam, latte art.
Oh wow.
You're more traditional, pillowy, which I respect.
Sure. Thank you.
Pillowy kind of.
My second wave
cappuccino. I don't know. I think your original recipe.
I make a new wave. It means I only listen to Devo.
You wear a checkerboard
whip
shirt.
Whip it good.
Your new wave. Oh, he says yes. So I think he wants to Yeah, he wants to open a place. That's
Well,
fun.
Max, I'll tell you, it's funny you should ask me that because there is a neighborhood here in New York City where my daughter, I had to bring her. There's a neighborhood called Hamilton Heights. It's up in the 140s, and which is sort of up, Harlem. I guess it's Harlem. It is Harlem, but it's it's north of Harlem. It's where Alexander Hamilton, the Hamilton house is up there, but it's in the 140s, and it's a very easy neighborhood. There's, like, for example, my daughter was taking singing lessons, and it's where a lot of people live up there that go to like Columbia or Juilliard or whatever it is. And it's one of these neighborhoods that has a very urban population, but there's not a lot of public housing around there. And they have these beautiful townhomes. And the neighborhood's called Hamilton Heights. And as a matter of fact, it's funny because to get there, and I know this is a little inside the beltway here, but like you take the C train up there, and it's really quick from say 72nd Street. It's about a 10-minute train ride up whatever that is, Columbus Avenue.
Hamilton
Broadway.
Heights is
like 145.
And
Broadway. That's
God,
yeah.
I think my first sublease was there.
Yeah,
I lived there for a month.
It's a beautiful.
Broadway
I don't know if the neighborhood's landmarked or not. There's a lot. I never really spent any time up there, but I was walking around there, and there's a lot of young kind of people that live up there. And when I had to drop my daughter off for a singing lesson, I found this little Italian place that had like a wood burning pizza oven there, but it seemed like the only place kind of in the neighborhood that was like that. Yeah. So, and I bet the rent is still pretty reasonable. So if you're looking I would look into Hamilton Heights, and also I know a lot of young gays are living up there. I happen to know 2 young gays.
What about
what?
Neil Patrick Harris? He lives up in Harlem.
Yeah, but he's fancy.
He's probably a little further.
He's actually on I can't believe I know this.
Is he just north of the park kind of situation?
He's on 123rd Street. I mean,
okay, so that's halfway there.
Harlem can be really, really nice. I mean,
but sure.
This is like up and west of Harlem. This is like a mile north of like Columbia.
Yeah, I was more central. I was like central, right in the thick of it.
Yeah. So honestly, the neighborhood is called Hamilton Heights, and I have been up there now 3 times in the last 2 months, and every time I'm up there, I'm like, this neighborhood, it feels like it's on the cusp of being something, or honestly, if you want to go out to Brooklyn, I'm hearing people tell me that East New York, which is I know it's
like Sunset Park.
No, it's actually south of Ridgewood, Queens. It's like basically it's east of Bushwick. You get to Bushwick and you keep going out towards JFK and you hit East New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's hopping out there.
Well, no, but it's going to hop.
I shot a rap video out there.
I bet you did.
Back in the day.
Who was it? Was it the Fushnickens?
Yeah, it was some guy, but it was a guy that had a big house in Long Island now, but he was from there, so he wanted to go back to the old neighborhood.
Yeah, right. He's like, "Yeah, the streets have made me." And meanwhile, here's Max with like his Cortadito. Max is like, "Yes, here we are. Yes, welcome to back to the neighborhood. Right. Care for some brekkie?
Yeah.
Would you like black or white pudding, Governor? with your beans and toast? Hello." Hello. He's like, "Damn, this neighborhood done changed.
Shit.
Ain't a damn thing changed."
Right.
Wait, I got to go give Jeffrey a jump. Anyway, so all right. So let me burn through. Anybody else? Or are we good?
Just hi everybody.
Hi everybody.
We'll just say hi everybody.
Hello. By the way, fucking do the like thing, please, would you? And even
like and subscribe, and if you want to become a member,
members are good. But as a matter of fact, I have a really funny story that I don't mean to like tickle your ass with a feather, but I'm going to put it on the bonus show because it's something that just happened, and you're going to think it's hysterical.
Oh, great!
It just happened. Again, I don't mean to be that guy. Plus, Paul Denon did this really funny, one of those funny African videos where. I recently, there are these guys in Africa where you pay them money and that you send them like a picture and your name, and they'll be like, "Happy birthday, Joseph, happy birthday."
Yeah,
Joseph. So really? Paul did one of those because I haven't dranken. Is that how they say?
I haven't drunk.
I have been drinking for 5 years as of the 11th of November. Not that it's fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a hero. And so Paul, I didn't even realize Paul remembered. I was very touched. So
that is very touching.
he sent me a video, and it was funny because it's this video and they play like the Pet Shop Boys and all these African guys are going party and play. I
didn't even pick up on the nuances of it. I just was like,
meet me in the men's room. Meet me in the men's room.
I was so like taken aback by that.
And they're kissing my picture.
We might be able to do you want to see if we can play it? Because you texted it to me.
Can we just do let's do it.
Hold on. So I think I can pull it off of your text and then because it's not, it's your video, so there's no copyright issue or anything. Sorry, I just
what about there is what Pet Shop Boys play?
Oh. Did they really play the song?
Well, we'll see.
I think it'll be okay. I think there's enough like stuff going on that it's not. Hold on, Adam.
The red phone doesn't go off at YouTube headquarters.
I don't think so.
Hey, sorry to bother you, boss. It looks like there's a Pet Shop Boys playing. You know those African guys that jump around that sing for $40?
Yeah, they're
playing the Pet Shop Boys. What should we do? It's that McCarthy kid and his friend Adam. They're talking about spatchcocking too. Right. Is that illegal?
About different kinds of turkey preparation.
Yeah. As if YouTube is just like seven guys in like in a conference room somewhere. I don't know, Paul. Send it over to me. I'll give it a listen.
I think I got it here. Hopefully this works.
Meet us.
Meet us
at the men's room.
At the men's room.
Party and play.
Party and play.
Party and play.
Party and play. Yo. Party and play.
Kissing your picture.
Yep. What's funny to me is because gay stuff is not really allowed,
right,
in Africa.
Actually, I'm going to stop that because they are playing the full
right.
But you get the
yes,
people get the flavor.
Meet me in the men's room. Meet me, party and play.
I didn't even catch any of that stuff.
Party and play. Party and play. I like to think that afterwards, all those guys were immediately executed by like the Ugandan gay police. What is party and play? It is when you don't wear a condom and have gay sex with crystal methamphetamine.
Yes.
And for hours and hours until you're finally just coming blood. Oh,
friends of Tina. Yeah.
Yeah, friends of Tina. Party and play. You can smoke it or you can rub it on your genitals. So anyway,
good times.
Ovio, I will. Okay, so last Friday I went to Gallagher's with Paco. And I went to meet him there. And as soon as I got there, Paco was like, hey, I have to leave in like an hour. I was like, oh, well, fuck. I'm glad I just spent. Although I will say.
There was no cover, though, right?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
But although when I did leave, they looked like they were setting up for as if they would take a cover. It's like,
because they set up and then they have the coat check girl out there and the security guy.
Wow, it's like going to the Ritz.
Yeah.
Coat check girl. Wow.
know,
man,
right?
Excuse me.
High-end stuff.
Yeah. Excuse me. I have the black members only jacket with the ripped epaulette. That's every jacket in here, sir. So anyway, it was funny too because I was, from here to there, really, it's about maybe 4 miles, maybe 3.5 miles. And so, but I mean, if I take the train, it takes an hour to get out there. And so, but I didn't want to take a car because it'd be like, I don't know, $40, $50 maybe.
Yeah, it's not a cheap Uber.
No,
from up here.
But what was funny was I remembered that I had this Revel, REVEL, which are they're all Teslas, or at least they're all
electric, right? Those blue ones.
Yeah, the blue ones. And I'm like, I haven't used that in a long time. So I opened the app up and it was like 40% off to get me back on that electric.
We'll get you there Wednesday.
Yeah. They were like,
it's you have to be flexible on your dates.
You have to provide your own blue car. No, but it was like $19 to get out there or something.
Nice.
I was like, fuck it, we're doing
quiet ride.
Yep.
Electric.
Well, the guy wouldn't stop. The guy wouldn't shut up. How about that election, huh? Oh man, we all in trouble now.
Oh really? Was he talking about? You wanted to talk politics with him?
No, but he was actually was very quiet. I just listened to something on the radio, but I didn't know how to open the car. I always feel like I'm 100 when I try to get no Tesla.
Yeah.
The guy's like, put your thumb on the sensor and then turn your thumb slowly counterclockwise.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. But
okay. I thought this was real.
But the handles are weird on those cars. You don't.
Yeah.
It's not an actual handle. It's like a pressure point that's on a piece
you just touch it or something.
Yes.
It's very weird.
and it's not even recessed into the car. It's just kind of like a piece of metal that just sits on top of the body of the car. Anyway, so I got out there, and Paco's at the end of the bar, and I sat down, and we started chatting, and then this dancer came around, and the way the place works is, I know I've described it already, but just bear with me. Big
Paint a
rectangle.
picture.
It's a big rectangle, and on each side of the bar, rectangle is smaller on the ends and longer on the sides, and so and there's just bar stools all over the thing. So really, the only place where you can really
you used
sit,
to be able to kind of like sit back on a table, which was nice, but
Yes.
now you have to sit right at the tip rail.
And I will say this, maybe at night, then they open it up a little bit, just
Maybe.
to kind of because at a certain point you would hope the place
You'd
would
reach capacity pretty
would-
quick.
Yeah, you would think that there's more than
25 or
more
something.
yeah, exactly. Every time I'm in there, there's never more than 30 people in that fucking place,
Mhm.
which makes me laugh.
And I think that that's probably a symptom of, the business isn't doing great.
Right.
It's not as busy. So now they're like, oh, you have no choice, but you just got to sit and tip the whole time.
That's what I'm saying too.
I
And
bet that's what it is.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because I think I have been there before they were so stringent about people sitting up front, and you would see guys that would come in
Yeah.
and they'd
lose.
they'd hang back, and I mean, I think I mentioned about like my ex-girlfriend when she danced downtown at the Dollhouse, they would have these Hasidic Jews that come in, and these Hasidic Jews would stand way in the back, and they'd have to go over with like when a cat would chew on the plants, they'd have like a water bottle and they'd squirt it. Get out of here.
They'd have to shoo the
Get out of here. Ah.
Hasidic guys away. Yeah.
Get out of here, Jews.
Go over there
Old
with newspaper.
Orthodox Jews. That's it.
Mhm.
You're not supposed to be in here. All right, don't break my
Okay.
bowl. Hey, I got to get Jeffrey a jump. What do you want from me? I'm down here now already. Come on, let me look at some titties. Come on. What do you want, a shekel?
Not for nothing.
Not for nothing. Oh, I like your
Yes.
areolas. Hello. Hello.
Mhm.
Wouldn't mind matzah. You're bawling.
Yes.
All right. So anyway, so I go, and there's this dancer comes around, and this girl is like, I don't know, 5'10", and just she's massive. I mean, certainly if that's your thing, certainly very attractive, but like,
Yeah.
and I mean, you might actually, you know what, it's kind of your style because
Really?
huge butt.
Oh, okay.
But very much put together. Everything was all there, but just a lot of girl,
But
not
tall.
not heavy, but
Yeah.
a solid $170. I mean,
Yeah. For sure. Brick house.
brick house. Exactly
Mhm.
right. So Paco goes, she comes around and she's like, hey, do you guys want to dance? And this is the one that told me while I was getting the dance, she was like, hey, I'm getting a neck tattoo. And I was like,
Cool.
I said, you'll never regret that. That sounds like a great idea.
No. Well, she's in the right line of work.
Well, which is interesting to me because I didn't see any other tattoos on her. So I was like, it seems like a
start
weird,
with the neck.
yeah, it seems like a weird hill to die on. She's like, I'm
Right.
getting a tattoo. Where? She's like, on the left side of my
Face.
face. Yeah.
I mean, people do that. And that's wild that a face tattoo is,
You're seeing more and more of that.
it's almost becoming like a mainstream thing.
Yeah. It's crazy. So anyway, so I get the dance from that girl, and Paco paid for it. And then I was kind of like, she's like, you want to, go to the 15-minute $100 area, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Thank you so much for that. I'm just going to
Mhm.
go back over there. So then I'm sitting with Paco, and and I will tell you, Ovio, it's a weird time because I got there at like 5:00. So I was there too late for like the lunch crew,
Yeah.
and I was there too early because girls were coming in to work for the night. So I should have gotten there at like 3:00, or I should have got there at say 7:00, but like 5:30, not a great time to go there. So anyway,
Mm.
but so we're there, and all of a sudden here comes this dancer. She comes around, and she's, 5'10", because I actually asked her how tall she was. 5'10" with like heels, so she's like 6'2", and she's this black girl. And I did, this is very unkind, but she looked like Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. She was incredibly skinny. Rail thin.
Yikes.
Rail thin black girl, and very, but very like Valley. I'm dating myself, like Valley girl,
like,
kind of black girl,
got
like
you.
kind of. She was like, hey, she'd only worked there for like a month, and
Mm.
and here's the thing: if you work there and you're not like Hispanic or I don't know, Slovenian. It seems
Yeah.
like a weird place to work if you're not in
Mhm.
one of those camps. So she was like this black girl, and she came over, and Paco thought it would be funny, so got to dance with that girl,
Right
and
with Jack.
that was just that was I didn't.
Bony.
I mean,
lot of
on it.
elbows.
Remember, you know what Slender Man is? You know,
Yes.
she looked like Slender
A lot
Man.
of sharp corners.
Yeah, all
Oof.
just arms and angle and like
Right.
angles. And at one point, she's telling me she wants to go to film school. I was like, "This is the longest 3 minutes of my
Holy
life."
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare.
And then when I got back to where Paco was sitting, of course, now Paco's like, I gotta leave. I'm like, well, I don't want to be around myself. So anyway, so then this other American black girl comes over, and she was like, hey guys, I'm like, where are these girls from? These two. And they
Interesting.
they weren't friends. It wasn't like they worked in concert. And somehow we were talking about music out of nowhere, and she starts telling us how her favorite band is Jethro Tull. And I was like, Jethro Tull? She was like 26 or 28 or something.
Yeah.
I was like,
She likes a flute, maybe.
yeah, exactly. Aqua lung, my friend, don't you come away. Did you know the lead singer of Jethro Tull owns a mussels farm? You know, like mussels, you know?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
it's true. Yeah, it's very true. Up in like wherever fucking Scotland or something.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Hey, do you like my aqua lung mussels? Hey, that's delicious.
Wow.
So anyway, so this girl, and then
She like Jethro Tull,
Pa-
just specifically. not-
well, it got into like her
she
dad.
like prog rock person.
Yeah,
I think
her-
they're prog rock, right?
She and Paco were talking about Rush, and
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. So
yeah,
right.
prog rock, progressive rock and roll. For those of
Wow.
you who don't know, so
You know who else is really into prog rock that you wouldn't know?
David Cross,
Sherman Helmsley.
really,
Yeah,
the guy
I think
from
that's the little bald guy, right?
he's still alive. Wait, the guy from the Jeffersons?
Yeah, he's like huge. Like I don't know why I know that, but I think just because it's random, and I've probably heard people talk
Okay,
about it on.
all right.
So maybe her dad was Sherman Helmsley.
Well, that would be something.
Holy shit!
Wow, she didn't
And
get.
she was just trying to get you there to ask, maybe.
She was like, we sure did have some good times at my house. You're like, she's like, oh, my dad. Let's just say he owned a dry cleaning company and had a neighbor who was this English guy that had a really hot black wife whose son was Lenny Kravitz.
Good
I'm like,
friends with Uncle Phil, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm like, is your father Sherman Helmsley? How
Wait a
did
minute.
you guess?
How could
How
you?
did you?
You would
know?
have to know that. I don't know why. I just know for some reason that he's like super into progressive rock. Which,
By the way,
random fact.
the exterior for that TV show, the apartment building, the deluxe apartment in the sky, right around the corner from here. I can show.
Is that right?
83rd,
Wow.
83rd,
We should
Second
do
Avenue.
tours.
When I first moved to New York, I somehow got this like little map of locations of movies, like the fire station from Ghostbusters,
Right.
the Different Strokes building is on 79th and Park Avenue, northwest corner. This is here, this is there, that is there. So
Yeah.
anyway,
All the exteriors.
all the exteriors.
It's fun to see a exterior,
I
a
need to worry.
famous exterior.
How lonely was I?
I walk by sometimes, where I would walk by in Astoria was the Costanza's house.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
They try to make it look like it's like way outer Queens, but there's like a row of houses that look like that are in kind of Western Queens. But
yeah,
that's
probably
fun.
Yeah, totally fun. Yeah. Anyway, so this Jethro Tull black girl. So then Paco, she was like, "You want to have a dance?" And Paco was like, "Just to be nice." We're like, and meanwhile, and I know you understand what I'm saying when I say this. Like, we're stuck with these two girls, and these like real, because Paco's trying to find a girlfriend, kind of, and
Okay.
and
Wow.
these like really hot, like I mean it's all relative, but like these Colombian girls, because he's
Daytime
Colombian.
stripper. Hot as far as
Yeah.
daytime strippers.
Yeah, daytime Gallagher's. They only have one cesarean scar.
Right. We're talking Queens Boulevard,
Yeah,
5 p.m.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah,
So
exactly. This isn't
factor
right.
that in.
These aren't award-winning. This isn't Friday night in Vegas during the De La Hoya fight stripper.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, but because these two black girls, at the Slender Man and the girl who's like talking about how much she loves Deep Purple. Like, what?
That's
Well,
bizarre.
I know, it was totally weird. But Paco got a dance with a Deep Purple girl, and when he came back, I was like, "How'd that go?" And he was like, "Honestly," he was like, "She smelled."
Ooh.
Yeah.
But
just-
she even smelled like a.
well,
like-
here's the thing. And again, this is going to be, and then we will jump over because I know we're running a little behind. No pun intended. I don't know what the pun is, but when these were two girls that had worked all day, so God knows what was, if you did a black light on their bodies, who knew what kind of
Oh shit.
secretions.
That would be a fun. That
Yeah,
would be a fun thing. Like if you were a manager
Yeah.
at or like a madam you'd run the black light over to make sure there's no funny business.
or almost, or more like a Geiger counter for semen, like
Oh yeah, if you could get something with an audible
yes.
wow indication, that would be great.
Like, here's the thing: if you're daytime strip clubbing, you definitely, if you're going to get dances and that whole thing, you want to do it at say 1:00 and not 5:30 on their way home,
sure.
because even if they haven't been that busy, they've been busy enough where you're not the first one in the door there. You know what I mean? You're the last piece of fried chicken and the Old Country buffet before they swap out the chafing dish.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know. I guess I'll eat that. Seems, I don't know. All right. Is that a wing or a thigh?
Yeah, it's hard to even
Yeah,
tell.
it's been under the
what
light
part
for
of the-
so long.
What part of the
Yeah.
chicken it is?
It's fried. It's definitely fried, and I'm not going to die, but I don't know what
Yeah.
part of the chicken it is. Is that the neck even? So to answer your question, Ovio, we still love Gallagher's. We're going to do some sort of a holiday.
Yeah, we got to set a date. Maybe we talk about that for next week. Maybe we announce a date. Are you going away at all for during December?
There'll be no. There will be no Friday post Thanksgiving show, but we will try to figure out something this week.
No
But
Black Friday show.
we'll be back. Yeah, exactly. I have to go to a TJ Maxx and get a pair of parachute pants for $3 and
Right.
at 4 a.m.
Mhm.
You're like, Brian, be funny. Like you go to like Target. You're like, what'd you do? I'm like, I got a PlayStation 3 and it was $800. And you're like, I don't think you did Black Friday correctly. That seems like it seems like there's better PlayStations and cheaper.
Right.
Anyway, so everybody listen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you're listening, thank you. Go to the Patreon because it's where every show is archived and we have hundreds of hours of shows over there. Plus, there's all kind of funny little Easter egg bullshit that Adam has put all through it. So the Patreon is a whole universe of whatever.
Actual Easter eggs.
And that's no yolk.
And they've gone bad.
These are you ever go to a really, really hardcore Chinese restaurant and they have those 100-year eggs?
Yeah.
It's like an egg. You're like, why are they called 100-year egg? Because we bury it in the dirt for 3 months and then we take it out and we serve it to you with a fortune cookie. Enjoy. It's $19. Anyway, so that's what that is. And then if you're watching, remember, just even if the comment is like, if it's like 7 R's, R,
Yeah.
then that helps with the I don't know. I hate to say the word algorithm because I hate it, but we're going to jump over now to the bonus show so you can become a member, come over there. And if you're on the Patreon, then you're going to get this. And thank you all very much. Thank you, Ovio. Thank you, Max. Thank you, everybody else. And we will see you next week. Goodbye. Thank you.